So, Sly, this is really devastating news. I mean, Hulk was a force in wrestling, but he was also a force in your world.
He was very much so. When we met, I guess it was 82. He maybe even maybe 81 because we started rehearsing. He just came in and you knew that this guy had a glow about him. He was a force to be reckoned with.
You know, the thing I had lots of chances to sit down and talk with him, and doing Rocky 3 for him was one of the biggest things in his life. And he was so proud of it, and he has models in his office of his character in Rocky 3.
Right.
It was so meaningful to him. Talk to me about that.
Well, it was. This fellow was he was just at the beginning of his career. He hadn't quite come into his own yet. So we got him at a point where he was so enthusiastic. And I remember he was immense. He was probably about 315 pounds, but very smart. And had this deep, calming voice. And he was willing to do anything that would make the show better. Now, at first, no one wanted him because he was too big. I said, that's the whole point. It's like David and Goliath. The bigger, the better. So he showed up in magnificent shape. And the thing was, we started to roll around and he would literally pick me up and drop me to the ground. I thought I'm going to be literally pulp by the time I land. And yet he would always break the fall. He would do things that you wouldn't see like a magician. And I'll say, I've had a lot of punches thrown at me. No one was more accurate and precise than him. It was extraordinary for a man that size. Literally, he would punch with his knuckle like this and it would come right, just touch the skin. And I thought he was great and such a good sport. He just met my daughters at a signing the other day, and he was very busy. Took time out for them. It's truly a tragic loss. It's like him, Carl Weathers. I mean, you're losing some of these irreplaceable human beings. Like you'll never see a man like him come down the pike again. So I just hope everyone really covets the memory, appreciates the visual of this icon, and probably the greatest wrestling icon we'll ever see.
You know, you and Hulk have some things in common, as I think, because he didn't just conquer one area, wrestling. He became a movie star
Yes,
with the help of you. He became
yes,
a television star the way you did with a family reality show.
right,
So in a way, you guys have something in common that's really unique because most people, if they
right,
hit it big, they hit it big in one area.
right.
And he did it at least three times over.
I'm glad you said that because he's also was very smart. Quite often people judge a book by its cover. I know what that feels like, and they did the same with him. But he was very smart, very entrepreneurial, musical. He had a plethora of all these subjects that he was interested in. And the thing is, he just was in a lot of pain. I know he had so many injuries. I've had a lot of back operations. He's had 10 plus, and yet he never complained. He just tried to persevere and be as pleasant as possible. I miss him terribly. Like, God damn, it's just, it's irreplaceable. And it's been a rough week between this and Ozzy Osbourne, and just you've lost some real monumental human beings.
And, you know, you and Hulk have something else in common. I mean, um, he was a star, maybe the star, at the RNC last year,
Right.
and took a lot of heat
Yes.
for his association with Donald Trump. I mean, the country's
Yes.
divided 50-50. And I think you're feeling some of that now. And I'm wondering if you relate to that part at all.
I do relate to it because it gets to a point where it's where politics stop and people start. And that's where you really have to say, what is the soul of a person all about? Just it doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. That's the way I look at it. And he was a unique, giving soul. And people really didn't understand how deep he went. Uh, I, I, I can say I'm just a better person for knowing him. And the beauty is that we have that on film forever. And I just hope the fans appreciate it because that was the beginning of a titan, of a real unique individual who was not afraid to stand up, as you just mentioned, and put himself on the line for his beliefs. And that's to be commended always.
Do you have just any kind of a story, a funny story, or anything you can remember about just your interactions with him, shooting the movie with him? I love what you said about wrestling, about rather being gentle with you, because he learned that skill from wrestling, because you can't
Yes.
actually punch
Yeah.
people that way,
Yeah.
slam people that
People,
way.
I know, people underestimate how gifted some of these behemoths are, and he was the most gifted of all. I just remember two things. One, he throws me into the corner. He goes, "I'll be gentle." I said, okay. He throws me into the corner. I go about 6 feet in the air. I hit the corner, and the whole point is for him to run towards me and go boom and hit me hard, and I fall down, which naturally I would. Instead, he decided halfway across the ring that he's going to jump up. And are you kidding me? And it looked like the white whale from Moby Dick. He came down and hit me with his shin bone, shin right here. I went face forward and I literally laid on the canvas. And people go, "Sly, you okay?" I said, "I don't want to get up because I know my collarbone is sticking straight up and I don't want to see that." I realized my career over. I've never been hit so hard. And he was mortified. I said, "Okay, all's forgiven." But the point is, Harvey, he literally leaped up. His shin was here. So give you an idea how athletic he was. And then the second time, I said, how at the end of the fight, Rocky jumps on you and I strangle you and I choke you out. He goes, "What is the possibility of that happening in real life?" He goes, "Zero." And I go, "Prove it." And I'm choking him. He literally took me off like a donut and threw me like boom, again, gently. But I go, "Oh, there's no way you can get out of this chokehold." He went, boom. So he was a force. He was a force.
I got to
Good,
tell you, I got
good,
to tell
great
you
human.
something. Finally, this is just so funny to me because I have known you for years, and I've always viewed Rocky as this kind of invincible character. Ultimately,
No,
yet every time you and I talk, you tell me how you got beaten up by
I
somebody.
know. Luckily, I have editing approval. I'll tell you. And the last thing I said, Hulk, when you throw me into the audience, which he does, I want you to jump down into the audience and like fight people off. And those will be stuntmen there, so you can, be a little aggressive. I should have never said that. So when he throws me out of the ring, he jumps out of the ring, and we have stunt guys dressed as cops, and he starts doing this move. If you run the film, boom, four of them, four of them were retired for the day. Literally, uh, I wouldn't say unconscious, but close to it. I mean, that's so when people say it's fake, no, it's you can't fake gravity. And when he's coming down like this and he's whacking you with forearms this big, it was truthful. So we at least have that on film of him just going through all these stunt guys like a lawnmower.